Stand by. Oh, what's up, smarty people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know, I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Make your next thing a big one. This week's shows, well, as it's Saturdays are made for private events like weddings and birthday parties and all kinds of things like that. So if you need those DJ services, give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com, or just check djlittlerock.com to check your availability. Friday nights, last night's gig at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Such a good time. Always a good time at the Rab. Make sure you join me next Friday night at the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. I got time. You got time. You got time. I'll wait. I'm waiting. Starts at 8 p.m. and it goes until 12:30 in the a.m. Always a good time. Man, like I said, karaoke. You're the stars of the show. We had exceptional singers last night at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Whew, so much fun. So much fun. I like it. I like the Friday nights. That's my one public show that I do, and I do appreciate all the people that come out after a long after a week of working hard. You spend your time on the weekends just unwinding, having a good time, and a lot of people do like doing the karaoke and doing some dancing, and that's the place to go. The Rab, Friday night. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Saturday, February 19th, 2022. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Biden convinced Putin has decided to invade Ukraine. President Biden told reporters on Friday that he is convinced Russian President Vladimir Putin has made up his mind to invade. Quote, "As of this moment, I'm convinced he's made the decision. We have reason to believe that," end quote, Biden said, when asked if he thought Putin was leaning one way or another. In response to a question about whether or not diplomacy is still an option, Biden replied, quote, "Until he does, diplomacy is always a possibility," end quote. Kyiv and Moscow have been engaged in a delicate back and forth for weeks now, as Russian troops continue to threaten Ukraine's border, despite Putin's repeated insistence that there's no invasion on the horizon. This is according to The Week and NBC News. Number 2, Trump bought classified documents to Mar-a-Lago, Archive says. Classified national security documents were, in fact, among those former President Donald Trump brought with him upon leaving office, the government's chief archivist said Friday. In a letter to the chair of the House Oversight Committee, Archivist David Ferrero said the National Archives, quote, has identified items marked as classified national security information within the boxes, end quote, recently recovered from Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. By removing classified information from the White House in this way, Trump may have violated the Presidential Records Act. The archive staff has been in touch with the Department of Justice. This is according to Bloomberg and the New York Times. Number 3, Freedom Convoy. Police move in on Ottawa protesters. Police moved in to arrest Canadian protesters in downtown Ottawa Friday morning with the goal of ending weeks-long demonstrations that have transformed into a referendum on the country's COVID-19 restrictions and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's handling of the pandemic. Hundreds of officers began handcuffing protesters and towing away vehicles as truckers honked defiantly. Ottawa police tweeted late Friday night that there have been no serious injuries or deaths. Police also set up a secured area within Ottawa's downtown core and announced that, quote, only those with an exception or who live, work there are allowed into the secured area, end quote. Anyone else remaining in or attempting to enter the area, police said, quote, will be subject to arrest, end quote. This is according to the Associated Press and Ottawa Police. Number 4, Putin orders nuclear weapons drills. Russian President Vladimir Putin gave the order on Saturday for his country's military to begin a series of drills involving its nuclear arsenal. The exercises will include ballistic and cruise missile launches, as well as nuclear-capable bombers and warships from the Black Sea Fleet. This latest show of force comes after President Biden warned on Friday that he is convinced Putin has decided to invade Ukraine. The Russian-backed separatists who control part of eastern Ukraine are also preparing for war. On Friday, separatist leaders warning of an imminent Ukrainian offensive told 700,000 women and children to evacuate the region. On Saturday, they called on all military-age men to register to fight. This is according to Reuters and the New York Times. Number 5, Daunte Wright's family very disappointed by Kim Potter sentencing. Former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter has received a 2-year sentence for the killing of Daunte Wright. Judge Regina Chu, during a hearing on Friday, announced a 24-month sentence for Potter, 16 months of which she will serve in prison and the rest she will serve on supervised release. Prosecutors had pushed for a 7-year sentence. Potter was found guilty in September on charges of first-degree and second-degree manslaughter after she fatally shot Wright, a 20-year-old black man, during a traffic stop in April of 2021. She says she mistook her gun for a taser. Daunte's mother, Katie Wright, who is white, said Chu had been swayed by Potter's, quote, white women tears, end quote. This is according to the New York Times and the Associated Press. Number 6, judge won't throw out January 6 incitement lawsuits against Trump. Former President Donald Trump's motion to dismiss lawsuits accusing him of inciting the January 6 Capitol failed on Friday. Trump faces 3 lawsuits, one from Democratic members of Congress and 2 others from police officers. The Supreme Court ruled in 1982 that presidents are immune from lawsuits stemming from their official acts. But Judge Amit Mehta ruled that Trump's speech on January 6 was outside the scope of his presidential duties. Mehta also seemed sympathetic to the accusations of incitement. Quote, President Trump's January 6 rally speech was akin to telling an excited mob that corn dealers starved the poor in front of the corn dealer's home, end quote, he wrote in his decision. This is according to Reuters and CNBC. Number 7, Harris to meet with Ukrainian president in Munich. Vice President Kamala Harris is scheduled to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz at the Munich Security Conference on Saturday. In a speech delivered the same day, Harris warned that the U.S. and NATO would respond to a Russian invasion of Ukraine with, quote, far-reaching financial sanctions and export controls, end quote, that, quote, will target Russia's financial institutions and key industries, end quote, and, quote, inflict great damage, end quote. She told Eastern European allies on Friday that, quote, our greatest strength is our unity, end quote. Zelensky has faced criticism for leaving Ukraine when an invasion might commence any day. But President Biden said Friday that it was, quote, a judgment. Let's try that again. Quote, a judgment for Zelensky to make. end quote. This is according to the Associated Press and CNN. Number 8, IOC president offers rare criticism of China over officials' comments on Taiwan, Xinjiang. The president of International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, offered what has been described as a, quote, rare, end quote, criticism of a Chinese Olympic official during a news conference on Friday. Bach said he reminded the Beijing Organization Committee for the Olympic Games of the, quote, unequivocal commitment to remain politically neutral as it is required by the Olympic Charter, end quote. Rule 50 of the Olympic Charter prohibits any, quote, political, religious, or racial propaganda, end quote, at the Olympics. Beijing Olympics spokesperson Yan Zharong said Thursday that, quote, Taiwan is an indivisible part of China, end quote, and that reports of genocide and forced labors in China's Xinjiang region are, quote, based on lies, end quote. This is according to The Week and the New York Times. Number 9, defense rests in hate crimes of trial of men who killed Ahmaud Arbery. The defense rested Friday after calling only one witness in the federal hate crimes trial of Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and William Bryan, who were convicted in November of murdering Ahmaud Arbery. The defense argued the 3 white men who chased Arbery down in a pickup truck and shot him while he was out jogging were motivated by concerns about neighborhood crime, not racial animus. The prosecution called 20 witnesses who said the 3 men routinely made racist remarks. One witness said Gregory McMichael told her, quote, all these blacks are nothing but trouble. I wish they'd all die, end quote. Another said Travis McMichael called her a, quote, lover, end quote, after learning she'd once dated a black man. This is according to the Washington Post and CNN. Number 10, 2022 Olympics. U.S. men's curling team fails to medal. After winning gold in 2018 and becoming the internet sensations in the process, the U.S. men's curling team came up short in the 2022 Olympics. The beloved Midwestern dads lost to Great Britain in the semifinals on Thursday and to Canada in Friday's bronze medal game. Quote, if you have people you enjoy traveling with and hanging around with, the curling is a bonus. And winning in curling is an even bigger bonus, end quote, American team leader John Shuster said. The British team went on to defeat Sweden and win the gold medal. This is according to Sports Illustrated and The Guardian. That's 10 things you need to know today for Saturday, February 19th, 2022. Thank you so much for listening. This has been What Makes You Smarter, trying to fill my head up with the news of the day, keep myself current on current events, and then sometimes if you keep a track on this feed, you'll hear quite a few other things of interest, at least to me. And since I got a microphone in front of me, might as well spit into it, and maybe you'll take the journey along with me. Also on this feed, you'll find my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Smart, or What Makes You Famous. What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. You can hear the stories of others, or you can tell your own story. Give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email KeysDAN@AOL.com. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Smarter. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.